everyone. Welcome to the finale of Beyond the Corridor. I'm so excited to be running this today. And before I start and give us our recap, I'm going to do as I do and victimize my players to introduce themselves and their characters. Layla, why don't you start today?
Hi, yes, while I'm renaming myself because I forgot to do that again. Hi, I'm Layla. I use they, them, and zer pronouns, which are like she, her pronouns, but zestier. And I'm playing Gwen, who uses she, her pronouns.
I just popcorn it.
And I'll send it over to Josh.
Hi, I just had to rename myself as well. But my name is Josh Zambrano. I am playing Thiago Miguel Casaveno, otherwise known as Theo, and we both use he, him pronouns. And we'll pass it to Phil. There we go.
I'm Phil. I am comfortable with any pronouns, and I am playing Quinn, who uses they, them pronouns. Christiana?
Hi, I'm Christiana. I am playing January Jenkins. She uses she, her pronouns, and so do I.
And I'm Max. I run this allegedly. I play everyone else, but I use they, he pronouns. And for everyone watching, I'll give a quick recap of the first two sessions that will culminate into today's. We have all of these lovely students at Alabaster Academy in Lake Michigan, outside of Chicago. These students have just come back to school for the new year in September and have begun preparing for the back-to-school bash held in the upper school of Alabaster Academy. There were a number of dance proposals that were part of a dance proposal competition started by Theo. We had two orchestrated by our players, one to Melly, which is the sea serpent that lives in the lake outside the school, and one to Professor Harker, the professor of astrology here at Alabaster. We also had some research done regarding Melly uncovering some interesting, potentially concerning things, which might be coming into play as everyone got ready to go to the dance, filed in, and Melly actually slammed her tail against the dome in a display of aggression that none of you have seen before. Am I missing anything important?
I don't think so. I stole a notebook, but you might have just said that. My brain doesn't always work.
Yeah, you stole one of the professors. You stole Professor Estrade's notebook, right, from his desk?
Yeah, that was very rude of me.
Research, right?
We all look amazing.
Yes, you all do look amazing, and we'll jump back in there where we were, as Melly slams her tail against the dome and it reverberates down, kind of sending everybody after that brief moment of like confused silence into a panic. Your attention is drawn to Anamika first, who faints right into your arms, Quinn, at the sight of it.
Quinn's kind of like not positive what to do, and just kind of like gently like lays them on the ground and kind of like motions for people to not like step on them.
I think in that moment, if Theo notices this, he would definitely go to check on Anamika just to make sure that she's all right, that there's no like injury and fall or anything like that.
Yep. Quinn caught her. It's definitely just a whole lot of overwhelm and shock. So the pulse is okay. No blunt force trauma. She's just out.
I was about to say, Gwen gets their like phone flashlight and like does what the doctors do with their eyes, like please follow the light, thank you. No concussion. I don't think there's a concussion.
And one of the professors will come tend to them, kind of just say, we got it from here, as so much is still happening around you. There are some students that have now kind of defiantly gathered towards the outer edge of the room, trying to look out in search for where Melly has gone. There are plenty of people who are like screaming or, like, what the fuck? And they're filing out. The professors are trying to keep everything under control, but you can see a sort of mixed range of reactions with them as well.
Yeah, can I actually, is there like a check I can make to try to see if anyone's acting weird?
Well, I do remember you mentioning Professor Harker leaving the bathroom before all this happened. Who saw that?
I believe January saw that.
January was the one that witnessed it. Okay.
On the check to see if anyone is acting weird, I just want to think about what you're going to roll for that. Because, like, it's sort of social.
Brains
sort
for
of
Gwen, right?
Smart. So, I guess it would be...
We fight, right?
Would be brains. Let's do brains difficulty of 10.
Okay, let's go. Let's do this. I need to get. Oh, I didn't. Okay, just give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. I didn't get to the correct page I needed to be on to immediately roll the dice. But I think I am so. Oh my god, my internet's so slow. Please. Okay. Here we go. We're there now. Okay, let's roll it. Rolling. Ooh, natural 18. Beautiful. And that's
Lord.
yeah, that's gonna be a 19 overall, I think.
Yeah. So it's not your first rodeo in a high stress event. You sort of just focus in and you become very aware of your surroundings immediately. You notice that Professor Harker didn't come back from the bathroom. It's possible that she saw what was happening and was like, absolutely not.
Well, I mean, it's better to go to the bathroom in a bathroom than to shit yourself. So, I don't know. I get it. I get it.
Words of wisdom from Layla.
Like, when you gotta go, you gotta go. It doesn't matter if there's a big fish banging on the window. Like...
You also notice that the headmaster or headmistress, whatever gender terms, is kind of overseeing things, but also talking into the ear of Professor Estrade.
Which Professor Estrade?
Basil Estrade.
Okay, cool. Where is I imagine I'm standing with Theo and Quinn right now because we rushed over to Astronomica.
Yeah, I know that, or I assumed that you guys had kind of just grouped up a little at the dance. So the four of you remaining are together still. Which way do you plan on heading? What do you plan on doing?
I'm just turning to everyone and being like, what was that?
Yeah, you said that there's a bunch of students that have gone to the outskirts of it, right? Of like going against the wall trying to catch Melly.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at Gwen and be like, I don't know what it was, but it doesn't sound good. And I'm going to go, and I'm assuming that there's some kind of evacuation procedure or like safety hazardous weather procedure, something that Theo has to be aware of and might be referring to the teachers, to the professors, to try to get
of course there is, but people aren't listening because teenagers, the people that are standing around the edge are students that you know in your time as the student body president to be a little bit more defiant and less reserved.
Okay, cool. You said that the head teacher is there?
Yep.
Yes. May I go up to her, please? And I'm going to check in with her and basically just say, headmistress, May I please have your permission? We have some students who might be in potential danger lining the outskirts of it. I understand that charm, magic, or manipulation is frowned upon, but in this instance, for the sake of the safety of the students, would you permit me?
And she kind of waves to Professor Estrade away for a second. It's very responsible of you to think of such a thing, Theo, and in the middle of her sentence, Mellie's tail slams down on the dome again, and it kind of like waves a little harder. It's not like I think I described this last time, but it's been a while. It's not like a hard thing. It's not like a glass dome. It's magic, so it's pliable. It'll bend, but it's not. Hypothetically, it's not impenetrable. There are things that could cause it to break. And she looks over there and goes, I think we'll handle it. This is, a job for the professors.
They're not doing a very good job.
You will just say, well, if there's any way I can be of service, please just let me know. In the meantime, I'll just be, on the lookout, I guess, standing around. Is there anything in particular you'd like me to do?
Feel free to encourage your classmates to leave.
I want to walk up and be like, get the hell out!
I want to help Theo do that. Is there any way that I could use magic to make it so the window that everyone's looking through, like whichever part people are looking through, just becomes opaque? Like for like a little bit becomes black and opaque so they can't even see through it, so they start paying attention to something else?
Yes. You can make... Ooh. Another one that I'm not entirely sure of.
I'm just throwing them at you today.
Yeah. No, that's a good thing. It's a fun challenge. I guess it would... We'll stick with brains, especially because I know that works for you. Let's do another difficulty of 10. It's not that difficult of a thing to do, I feel like.
It doesn't matter. I rolled a 3. Uh-oh.
So you cast the spell. You haven't done it before. You kind of think about it, and it doesn't work the way that you've planned. And so it kind of like gets a little darker for a moment and then fizzles away. People kind of shift around it, but they're still standing at the edge trying to figure out what's going on, especially because Melly has come back for a second hit. You can see her now as you've moved closer. She's kind of like circling around the dome here. More of the professors are trying to guide the students now out. More of them are being compliant to leave, but there are still, a few stragglers.
So at this point, it seems like those students are now kind of being taken away. The professors are moving them out of the space then.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then I guess I'll go back to the group and I'll be like, what is happening? You guys said that you proposed to Melly. I don't think that this was what you were expecting, right?
It's the worst rejection I've ever gotten.
So I think when Quinn like realized that, or like figured that Anamika was like okay, they started like, I think they had a plate of food when the banging started, and they kind of like dropped it and started like picking up the bits of food, and they're kind of like on the ground like putting them back on the plate. And like, yeah, I thought we did a pretty good job. I mean, Melly seemed pretty happy with the proposal. Do you think like something else is making her so upset?
I might possibly have a way to find out. Quinn knows this. I kind of took something from one of the professor's offices that I shouldn't have. And it's on, I feel like it has information on Millie in it. Listen, the professor was acting really shifty. Theo, don't look at me like that. The professor was acting really shifty. And I had my suspicions, and I found this really weird notebook in like a hidden drawer. And like, what was I doing finding a hidden drawer? Don't ask me those questions. But I think there could be something about Millie in it that might be useful. It's hidden in my room. Do we want to go get that?
Yeah.
Probably should. And only to compound that, I mean, Professor Hargan's already kind of weird, but she was acting even weirder when I was trying to record her earlier. I mean, I tried to ask her permission and everything. It wasn't like I just pointed the camera at her, but she left, and then when she left, Millie started banging on the glass. So, not sure if they're connected, but just a weird coincidence.
She left? Did you see from where or where she went?
I think she went to the bathroom.
Yeah, she hasn't come out of there in a while. I don't know if that's like I'm suspicious of that too, but I'm also very worried about going in there and it just being a private thing.
To note, there's pretty much like one way in and out of here, so she would have just went out the main entrance to the nearest like corridor bathroom.
Got it. Yeah, so I mean, as far as I know, or my understanding is that Millie's just here to protect us. So if maybe finding something more about her would be helpful, but I think the real culprit of whatever this weird situation is in this room or under this dome here.
Can I guess I'm just gonna look at Gwen and be like, Gwen, I guess lead the way.
Okay, I go to my room with them.
Okay, you guys, you go on ahead. I have to go throw out these shrimp.
But Quinn.
Hey, Quinn, I think that there's levels of priority, and I think that that's pretty high up there because those shrimp will go bad, but I think this one is a little bit higher.
Well, I dropped them all on the ground, and I don't just want to like leave them here, so there's like a trash can right over there. I'll be right there. Don't.
I just help Quinn pick up the shrimp. I don't have time for this. I'm like, okay, help Quinn pick up the shrimp.
So as you're playing pick up shrimp, Professor Estrade looks at you, Theo especially, because you two are familiar, and he says, you know, when they said evacuate, that means you too, Mr. President.
Yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right. And I heard Quinn away from the shrimp, and I'm like, let's go, everybody.
Laura's gonna get stick. Okay.
Yes, no, Professor, I was just waiting to escort this group of students back to campus, so don't worry, we'll be out of there second time. And as we're walking out, I'm just checking Professor Estrade, who I know pretty well, but is Basil, is he acting any different now than he usually would?
Yeah, you can roll brains on that.
Okay, brains. Let's go for it. Let's see, shall we? That's a 2.
A 2?
Yeah.
You assume that he's just like agitated because of the high stress situation.
Sure.
He's always been a little bit talky.
Yeah, I figured. I'm stressed too. it's all around here. Okay, let's go, guys. Let's go.
Yeah, let's get on out of here.
Are you all headed to Gwen's dorm?
Somebody take care of the shrimp. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I know that I'm headed to my. I know Quinn's going because I'm literally hurting them. I'm like, I cannot have this.
Yes, the protocol for this sort of thing says that students should go back to the dormitories, but there's no specific notation that you have to be like in your own room as long as you're within like a house dorm room. You're fine for now until further instruction is given.
Well, as we're
Okay,
walking,
incredible.
I just check on Smudge to make sure he's okay. See if he's stressed or not.
Is in like the tightest ball python ball.
Okay.
Not very thrilled with like the loud noise that happened, and all of like the yelling and the movement.
Okay, so if we're in my dorm now, I'm gonna herd everyone into my room. I'm gonna be like, okay, guys, I'm gonna shut the door behind me, and then I'm gonna pull out the notebook, and then I'm gonna open it. Let's see what happens. Let's go.
Are you skimming, or are you, like looking for something specific?
Looking specifically for stuff about Millie, or if there's anything about Millie in there.
Okay. So essentially, the vast majority of the journal seems to be about Millie. It's all handwritten. It only refers to her as like Emily, in full name. And
I whispered to myself, I knew there was more that I wasn't being told.
There are two parts to this story that I will summarize for the sake of time. A lot of the notebook is research, comparison of Millie to other beasts, notes on her behavior, notes on her feeding, sleep cycles, everything like that. And the other parts of the journal are kind of more of a conspiracy. They note an incident that happened with Millie when Professor Estrade was a student here, years and years and years ago. And it's like he's sworn that something has always been wrong. He's like dead set on the fact that like Millie is not nice and they just have been appeasing her. And the incident that happened during his studentship, he's convinced is connected to her. But no one will believe him. That's the frustrations that are vented in the journal. It seems his own brother won't even take his expertise.
I turn to everyone and I go, this guy was a little crazy. This guy's a little crazy.
This is Professor Basil's journal?
Yes.
Yeah. A little bit crazy. Yeah. Conspiracy theories. Thinks Emily is an evil monster. But that no one will believe him because, but apparently he knows better than everyone else. One of those things.
I mean, if she was evil, wouldn't she have destroyed the school a long time ago?
Unless there's some kind of charm, magic, some kind of enchantment that's been placed on her. Or if there's appeasement, as he mentions there, I don't know, conspiratorial, like, sacrifices? I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I think if there were sacrifices at the school, wouldn't we hear stuff about, like, students going missing or anything like that?
I mean, we've kind of heard about some of that stuff. I mean, it was kind of a joke, right? But remember the crows? How all the crows might be students who, like, were caught cheating?
I mean, maybe, but also those rumors, were any of them proven to be true?
Not that I know of.
Ugh. This is confusing, and we don't have a lot of time, and that makes me nervous.
You can also sacrifice like other things, like sticks or like stuffed animals or something.
I mean,
I don't know. It doesn't have to be like students.
Have you ever seen? Well, we've barely seen Melly, but did you guys see Melly with a bunch of sticks when you visited her?
Maybe she has like a nest.
She does seem to like round objects, like rocks or
people.
foosballs.
Oh, okay.
Well, there's tons of those in the lake. Bigger than we have here. What would a sea creature value?
Friendship.
Okay, if anyone wants to try for the more specific details about the conspiracy, you're gonna have to like find the right page with the information. So it's gonna be a brains difficulty 15. Whoever wants to give it a go. It's a jam-packed notebook, but the
sounds like Theo to me.
there.
Probably not.
Oh
me.
yeah.
Probably not me.
I have pretty good brains if we want me to try that.
I think you've already got the notebook as well.
Can I help at all, just with my previous knowledge of like Professor Estrade, like relaying some of the things he may have told me that maybe seemed off now?
Yeah, you can go ahead and add +2 to whatever you roll with Theo's close relationship with the professor.
Wow. Guys, I got a 4. I got a beautiful, gorgeous 1 number above the last one I rolled. I'm dumb. I'm dumb right now.
No.
Gwen is sitting here like, I don't know how to read. I forgot. Does anyone in here know how to read?
It's not that you've forgotten how to read. It's that his handwriting is sort of doctor-like, and that it took a sitting to get just the basic information out with the way that he chicken scratch like scribbles. So some of it is just like incomprehensible to you. There's like coffee cup like stains on some of the pages. Some of them have water damage because he does study aquatic animals. So it's like, I don't want to wait for my hands to dry. And you just can't find this like exact event that he keeps referring to. You can't find where he describes it.
I can't read this guy's handwriting. I can't. He's a maniac. I'm so sorry. I can't. But we do know that he was hiding something, which is pretty important.
Maybe we confront him about it?
Should we just go ask him?
I'm not good at confrontation. I just steal things out of people's desks.
Do you do that like a lot?
No more questions about that. Thank you.
You'll also have to admit that you stole from him.
Well, I mean, I could just say I found it. Maybe he could have left it. Maybe someone else took it
with a false bottom in his locked office.
I'll be like, I think someone took this. I found this on the floor. I think some did, and it has your name in it. Just, I don't know, lie. I don't.
I could say that I found it in the Magizoology office when I was perusing one time, I guess.
Theo, you could be putting your whole reputation on the line for that. I can do it.
We also don't even really have to like talk about the
you know what?
journal, right?
Well, he might not take it seriously unless we tell him that we
just say, we could say, I heard somebody said some, but like rumors that you think that Melly is like not great. Like, do you think that this is like a bad, dangerous thing?
When it has a point. It does have a point.
We can start there.
Why don't we seek out Professor Estrade then?
Incredible. Let's do it. Basil, we're coming for you.
Oh, like all of us?
Why not? Let's all go.
Okay, sure.
I mean, it gives us an excuse to wander the halls to say that we're escorting you.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Where are you going to go look for him?
Well, is there like a particular house that the professors are tied to or live adjacent to? If not, then we'll just go to his office. Or near there.
No, the professors aren't like tied to particular houses in the school. Okay. They thought that would create unfair bias.
Do we think he'd still be like at the dance?
Since you've mentioned that. You leave, the hallways are empty, and on the way to his office past the dome that the dance was to take place in, and you could hear even from down the hall like the echoing of a screaming match between Professor Estrade and the head teacher. It's
Can we sneak up to listen? Just to listen to what they're yelling?
Sneak.
I am not going to yell for the sake of like everyone's mics, but you can like imagine the screaming back and forth. It's like pretty nasty and pretty personal. From Professor Estrade's side, a lot of like, I told you, we know what you're doing, you and your bitch mother. And the head teacher's mother was head teacher before she was, which I think I went over in a past episode, but just to bring that up. And from the head teacher's side, it's like, how dare you bring my mother into this? We're an esteemed magic family. You're putting all the students at risk by accusing me. And it seems like there might be a few other people in there. You hear like some other like mumbles and people trying to interject, but they get cut off, and it's just like a blowout between the two of them. And they don't stop.
And they don't even give any information what they're fighting about. It's just them trading blows back and forth.
Well, it seems like
Melly is mentioned like a number of times, but there's no go ahead.
And who else is there? You said that there was someone.
Are you actually looking inside? Or
oh yeah, I just wanted to see if there were other people there and listening.
Wait, are you asking if there's other people listening from the outside, or if there are other people in the room with them in the conversation?
You know, I'd like to know both. Why not both? I'll ask for both.
If you're looking into the room, I'm going to ask for a flight roll to not get caught.
Okay, well, okay, guys, let's see what happens. What's the DC?
If I see her prepping for this, can I attempt like a charm spell to make her invisible, or at least harder to see as she like peeks in?
Yeah, let's do that first. You can do a charm roll difficulty 8 for invisibility.
I rolled natural 16. That's an 18. Come on, man.
You were hoping for like maybe some quicker feet at best, but Gwen like fades from existence right in front of the three of you. It's a good spell. And Gwen, you can now, this isn't a thing in this system, but you can roll that flight check with advantage. Or actually, I could just make the DC lower because you're invisible. Gone. So yeah, let's do flight DC 5.
I got a 10, baby. I got a 10.
Let's go. Yep. So you're able
Can't read, but can hide. Let's go.
You're able
You're just describing me in real life.
To slink in enough to see what's going on. There is one student kind of hidden, like they're back to a pillar and their eyes closed, listening, who is still here. They can't see you, but you walk up next to them, next to Mars Rutherford, who you've met a number of times from the Aquila house, and they don't notice you either.
Can I like be like, hey, hey?
Well, now I have to roll grit to see if they scream.
I'm not good at sneaking around, am I?
I rolled a natural 20, so that's fine.
Yes, come through.
They don't move. They say, "Yeah, I heard you outside. Just shut up." Um,
but what if I didn't shut up?
Shh.
And I
don't shut up.
Well, they wouldn't hear us if you didn't keep shushing me. I could get my words out. Thank you. What have you heard so far?
And they reach out to try to like grab you. They eventually get like scrub and drag you like back outside, so you can talk a little bit more freely. And they see the three of you and go, and kind of start talking. So Estrade and Kraft have been fighting for like the last 10 minutes. I told them that I was going to go clear everybody from the bathrooms. I didn't do that.
Should we do that?
No, there's probably no one in there.
No, Quinn?
Okay.
No. Stay here. Thank you.
Okay.
Parker went back inside, but she hasn't said anything. And then other Estrade is in there, and he's been trying to talk, but it seems like he doesn't know who to side with. And so he keeps siding with his brother, and then he keeps siding with Kraft, and it keeps going back and forth. Something about Nellie, and he thinks that they're like sacrificing kids to her every 13 years. It sounds like a load of bullshit to me, but...
Okay, can I take the notebook and can I hand it to somebody?
Is Gwen still invisible?
Gwen is invisible. The notebook won't be if you're going to pull it out of your jacket or wherever you're keeping it.
Yeah, I would like to pull it out and hand it to someone and be like, "Can you make me not invisible anymore?"
Theo's gonna like hand it back and be like, Gwen, while we're here, why don't you just pass that? Why don't you just pass that on to the other Estrade? Yeah.
Oh, like in like their pocket or something?
Yeah. Why don't you just put it in Benedict's hand? Just like do it and then just walk away. Just walk away.
Oh, okay.
He'll see
Yeah,
it.
I can do that. I was going to storm in there and be like, why aren't you guys helping the students and just sitting here fighting? But that's probably smarter.
I actually like that plan. I feel like a floating book.
But
come out.
Let's put the notebook back first, and then I can walk in there all high and mighty.
Yeah.
And not invisible.
So
because I feel like that plan makes less sense if you're invisible.
Sorry, are you trying to put the book back in his office, or
trying to pass it to Benedict?
You're trying to give it to him like in that room?
Wait. What if I took it and I put it underneath the headmaster's desk? So it looked like the headmaster found it? I don't know.
I really shouldn't give input on your plans. That's not my job.
I don't know what the point of that would be.
So that way I don't have it anymore?
Well,
so I can't get in trouble?
We may not have time for a detour, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking is if we can get Benedict on whatever side, because what if he's right? I don't know. Crazier things have happened.
Where is Benedict in the room exactly?
Yeah. So in the time that you were there, kind of whispering with Mars, you got a sight of the room. It's like Benedict is kind of like holding his brother back. So he's got like one hand on his wrist so he won't jut forward.
Okay.
And Harker is sitting a little ways away, not directly standing. She's at one of the empty tables, kind of listening and contemplating.
Is Melly still around there? Are we seeing Melly?
Melly is still kind of out in the water, but she's a little bit further away now. It's like she's kind of doing the night guard run of the larger complex as a whole.
And what do you guys think? Do we want to try handing the book off right now, or
I don't know if it's a great time for it because I don't even think Estrada knows it's missing right now.
Exactly. If there are other students in danger, maybe we should try to confront that first.
yeah, I suppose you're right.
Hey guys, where did you get that book?
Oh, finders
I'm gonna make him
keepers,
fall
losers
asleep.
weepers, and then I use a spell to make him go asleep.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna try to do.
Okay.
I was
Do
just
we
gonna
both
say the
cast a spell?
library, but
Yeah.
I'm fine.
I
It's
really
clearly not from a library.
I feel like that also should be a flight roll because it's about evading your problems.
Love it.
So
Escapism is a sort of flight.
Yeah, let's do flight roll difficulty 12. Whoever wants to try to put Mars to sleep.
12 is the highest I can get.
Well, it's higher
Theo,
than
do
I
you
am.
want to do it instead?
It's higher than I can.
Oh, no.
Okay, you know what? I have adversity tokens. Let's fucking do this.
Let's do it.
Come on. Oh my god. Okay. So I got an 11. I'm going to use an adversity token, which I have earned them this episode, and make it a 12.
Nice.
Yep. So you cast the spell, and it all happens very quickly. They go, and then like drop.
Quinn, catch
Good looking out, Quinn.
Will keep falling on me.
What can I say? You sweep people off their feet.
No, I don't think that's it.
What are you gonna do with them?
Is there a room? Are the bathrooms like right next to us or anything?
Yeah, the bathrooms are near here.
Let's just drag them in the bathroom.
Sure. I'll help.
And then
Quinn.
honestly, we could leave the notebook with them if we wanted to.
That sounds cruel.
I guess not. Okay,
I think
I'll
we
have a
could-
conscience.
I think we could use the notebook. Is the reason why I'm so fearful of just getting rid of it.
Why don't we like try and talk to one of the other professors? Like that's not doing all of the yelling. Whether it's like one of the people in there or like, someone else.
Where is Harker? I feel like Harker should
Harker's
be
in there.
She's in
Oh,
there.
Harker's in there.
Yeah, Harker's in there.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Well, let's
So we're dragging
let's
him
drag
to the
them into the
bathroom.
bathroom first. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, the bathrooms here, as I have continued to push my views about schools onto this stream, they're just like big gender neutral bathrooms. So you bring Mars in there, and where are you gonna put them? Like in a stall on the floor? Okay.
In a stall. I'm actually gonna check all the stalls just because they didn't check the bathrooms to see if anyone was in here. So I'm gonna check just in case there might be, I'll knock around and check and look under just to make sure no one's hiding or like knocked out or something or dead.
Yeah, no one is left in here.
Okay, cool.
All right, so you put Mars in a stall. So that that's over and done with. Now what?
I can't believe we did that. Okay.
Somehow I can. Somehow I can believe.
I'm a little chaotic today. I don't know.
Natalie, let's go big.
That's the rules. You go big.
Mm-hmm.
So I turned to everyone and I'm like, okay, that's taken care of. Next steps.
We should talk to the teachers, but that in itself is kind of dangerous, I feel.
I think this whole situation is dangerous.
we could become the students that get sacrificed just because we know. And if Melly is actually dangerous, then the threat to the school could be bigger and more important to them than us.
If they were to try to sacrifice us, though, I think at least the Estrades would be on our side, seeing as though, Basil's kind of throwing that at Kraft. So I don't think we'd be alone in there.
I say we barge in and demand they tell us what's going on. But that's just my first plan.
I don't like it, but and I'll turn Gwen's invisibility off or whatever, so now we can see Gwen.
I've just been a disembodied voice. I like to imagine that I was going, like I was moving consistently, so my voice was always from a different place. So like sometimes it was next to Theo, and then sometimes it's like behind January.
Heard of that? Go.
We just see like the notebook like floating around to different spots.
Well, what if we give ourselves some insurance? Theo, don't you have access to some kind of system that can inform the entire student body about what's happening? That way they can't just pin it on us or use us as a sacrifice if everyone in the school knows what's going on.
Max, is there any kind of broadcast system from the tablets? From the
I know that there's the bulletin board.
Yeah,
There's
the
bulletin.
I mean from the bulletin boards, but can we like display video or streams on them?
I don't think they're that advanced, to be honest with you.
What if we just texted
But
everyone?
you guys,
I did stream Melly's
you guys
encounter.
did live stream from your like mobile devices last time, so I would allow that like within the local system. Yeah.
What if we turn on a live stream and then go in and confront them?
Yeah.
You should tell us that.
And just live stream us confronting them.
Let's do it. Theo will get his phone out and start a live stream. Maybe a couple of us. I don't know.
Yeah, I have a lot of followers, so I should.
Well, I mean, followers. Yeah, that's fine. I guess it's not everything, but it's fine. Cool. All right.
I'm just saying they'll probably like click on as soon as they see the notification.
It's true.
I mean, engagement and following are two different things. Following is more of a vanity metric, but we'll move past that.
Okay.
We turn it. We start streaming. Put it in our pocket.
People follow you guys?
Okay. We got to do some logistical questions before you do this. Gwen, are you going invisible or invisible?
I'm going to be completely visible.
Okay, so once you go visible, it will be another roll to recast that. So, okay?
Yeah.
And then who is leading the charge into the ballroom?
The room? Maybe me and Theo?
Sure.
More charismatic than I am. I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Quinn, maybe you should be prepared with, I don't know, a spell.
A way to get us out?
Yeah, a way to get us out. Maybe a distraction if we need it.
Yeah, that would be fun. Do I know if I can like use conveyance on multiple people?
Yeah, if it's a little bit more advanced, but you've been taking the class for years. It's your favorite class. Hypothetically, if everybody were to be touching you, you could make it work.
Word.
Quinn goes in the middle. We all just touch Quinn. I just put, hand on their shoulder, their hand.
It's like Quinn has a hand on both Theo and January, and then I'm behind Quinn, and I have a hand on Quinn's shoulders.
Mhm.
Nice.
So we look like a little
move in
train.
a little shuffle.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like a Macedonian phalanx.
Sure.
Cha 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 cha
That too.
cha. What are you guys up to?
Okay.
Oh boy.
So you go in.
Barging
At
in.
the sound of your footsteps, you're first noticed by Professor Harker, who's walking in, and Estrade and Kraft are still fighting until Benedict kind of tugs on his brother's shirt, and he looks and sees you, and then the head teacher looks and sees you, and they both take a step back away from each other, and clear their throats. And Professor Basil Estrade says, is something the matter? You guys should be in your dorms.
Yeah, we should be in our dorms. Maybe you should actually be doing something rather than screaming at each other.
Aren't you invisible?
No,
I'm visible.
No.
Okay, never mind.
She's just in the back of the train. She's just in the back poking her head out.
Maybe you guys should be doing something about this. I like it because I'm definitely short, and I think Quinn is probably taller than me.
It's a little above average size, yeah.
Theo's gonna go in and say, we have some questions, and we are here representing, I believe, the student body, asking, what are you doing about it, and what can we do to stop this?
And don't lie, because we already know all the answers to said questions.
The head teacher says, we are handling the situation, and we will answer student and parent questions following when this is resolved. So we ask that you please return to your dorms immediately.
And what are you going to tell the parents of the students that go missing?
No students are going to go missing.
The only thing that's missing here is a little bit of leadership from our faculty. Like, you guys are just screaming at each other. You're not doing anything. You're just in this room screaming at each other. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, this was supposed to be a dance, and you guys don't seem like you're having a whole lot of fun.
No, Quinn, that's not.
Oh, okay, sorry. Oh,
no, Quinn, you're good point. Good point.
Says,
the only dancing that's going on is dancing around our questions. So I would like some answers.
This isn't student business, and waves her hand. And
it's not student business. We're all in danger.
Everyone needs to make a great roll.
Everyone needs to make a grit roll.
Oh, okay. I'm gritted up right now.
Oh.
I'm not gonna tell you guys the DC.
Oh,
no. Actually, I think I have to. Let's make it difficulty of 10.
Okay, that's 12. Oh yeah, woo!
Very good at grit. Didn't roll well.
I got a 19.
Okay.
I'm using the rest of my adversity tokens to not be sent away by this. I want to be here. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gridding it out.
All right. What'd you roll?
Oh, I rolled an 8, but I can use 2 adversity tokens to make it 10.
Okay. So everybody
forgot that was a thing.
Is passing. She says that, and you all stand your ground, and she swallows and sighs and says, if you all don't return to your dorms, we are going to have to call security. I am the headmaster here, and your enrollment will be on the line if you continue to disobey.
Okay, but aren't our lives on the line literally right now?
Theo's gonna reach, open his hand back and gesture to Gwen for the book.
Immediately hands it over. So excited for a dramatic reveal.
Theo's gonna grab the journal and hold it up in the air and be like, Basil, do you have anything you want to say regarding this?
Did you? And he grabs it.
Oh, I'm not standing that close to. I don't want to stand that close to them.
Okay.
We're in a big dance hall.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. That's not yours, but I will take
No
it.
Shit. No shit.
Professor Estrade, I think you'll find this interesting, and I'm going to pass it to Benedict if I can.
He will take it, and at that moment, I think we will take a brief break.
Okay.
So everybody...
Him being like, that's not yours. No shit,
No,
Basil. Did you think...
you feel if somebody pulled your diary out?
I wouldn't say, that's not yours, like a 12-year-old.
What would you say?
I'd be like, why do you have my journal? Like that's the proper response. I don't know. It's just that's not yours is so silly. I love it so much.
Okay. Yeah, so everybody get your snacks and drinks, take a quick stretch, and we will be back soon with the second half of the finale.
All right. Yay!
God.
Hi, everyone. Hope you had a good break. I say it with such a nice tone. As we return to this moment with some of the staff and some of our students. Our group of students has just returned Basil's notebook to his brother Benedict, who has just taken it. He holds it and kind of looks at his brother and then opens it. And the first thing he says is, "You've always had shit handwriting." And he says, "Shut up."
I know, I can't, it's impossible to read. I don't understand how he even reads his own notes.
Well, Benedict continues, he does it on purpose, so people can't read it. I'm just used to it.
Sure. If that's what he tells people, sure.
Wait, let's not distract the professor.
I'm sorry, it's just, I couldn't read it. I know how to read.
All right, so he goes through it for quite a few moments. It's kind of tense and silent in the room as he stands there and flips through the notebook. And eventually he skimmed through enough pages and closes it, and then looks across back at head teacher Kraft and kind of narrows his eyes and tilts his head. He hands the book back to his brother and says, "You hold on to that for a second." And Benedict draws his wand at the head teacher. It's not necessary for casting magic, but it helps like focus it in moments of like high stress. And he says, "Now I will ask, what are you not telling us?" And she slowly draws her wand too, and she says, "Nothing." And they just kind of like stare at each other like in standoff for a long time. Like one of them isn't gonna make the first move. Yes, Layla.
Can I get in between them? I know that I'm breaking formation, but can I get in between their wands pointed at each other?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I would love to do that and be like, you guys are just, can we communicate? Because if we don't communicate, then this isn't going to get fixed and people might die. So can we put our wands down and keep our mouths and minds open? And what is going on?
This is the thing that I always joke about how I have to stage conversations with myself.
Theo's gonna, while this is happening, though, Theo's gonna whisper to January and Quinn and just say, "Keep an eye on Harker."
Oh, I haven't stopped. And you can tell by her position that she's trying to get the camera from her phone to stay on Harker. When she watches it back, she'll see if Harker actually appears on the live stream.
Quinn is kind of just like fiddling with their wand, which they drew when like the professors started drawing their wands because they thought it would be fun.
If there's something that any of you know that could help people not die, you should do that and like share it. It would be very helpful. I'm just losing my mind over these professors having a cat fight in the middle of
I'm
this.
sorry, have you ever been in a teacher's lounge?
No.
Because I have.
Never. And I never want to be in one. I believe that this is realistic. It's just driving me insane.
My only reference point is Glee, so
the
that's what I'm
professor
assuming.
infighting. Now that I graduated college, I get like the real tea from my old professors. Ooh. It is not nice. Okay, so I'm gonna do something really horrible. Instead of indicating who's speaking all the time, I'm going to.
I love it. I love it so
Yes.
much.
So who's who?
So because this is like the positions that are in my head, this one is gonna be head teacher craft, and
Got
this
it.
one is gonna
Excuse me while I tweet hand puppet theater slash TTRPG live stream.
This is TTRPG
Oh my gosh.
life. And this one is Basil Estrade. You want me to
Draw a mustache?
Oh my
Please
gosh.
no, put a high like put a sticky note on one of them.
I ran out of sticky notes while I was shipping packages yesterday. This is what you get.
You know what? I'm not gonna complain. It's just funnier.
Oh my god.
Yes.
This is gonna be the
So
highlight
perfect.
of any
Yes.
TTRPG I ever do in my life.
I'm never
This
gonna
is
get
it.
hired.
I've
for
made it.
streams
I can
again.
leave.
I'm never gonna. Okay. So there's the mustache. Anyway. Where I even was. You said basically if there's something anyone like needs to know to stop people from dying, and then January you said to Theo to keep an eye on Harker, right? All right.
And I just imagine I'm in between these
other way.
two hand puppets. Like, be serious
Yeah.
about this.
Gwen is between them. They're still pretty catty, and so it's like this never would have been a problem if you would have let me take care of it in the first place. I could have taken her, and then it's no, you couldn't have. You know what has to be done, so just let it happen. I'm not going to let you do that. And then he brandishes his wand further at her and says, "Get out of the way, Gwen."
Okay. All right. Why don't we all come to a compromise? My preferable compromise is that no one dies. That is preferred, in my opinion. In my academic opinion, no one dying is better than other options. I don't think I will get out of the way. Actually, I would like us all to work together to save people. So like,
Yeah, let's use our words. A word is worth 1,000 magics.
a word is worth 1,000 wands.
Yeah, that's the saying.
Is that head teacher Kraft looking at us?
I don't know why I did this.
Guys, season 3 or campaign 3 of Critical Role, we got the new formula. This is what they're doing.
Put a mustache on one hand.
I have
that
no
versus
money for
multiple
miniatures.
things.
This is what you get.
I love the idea of you tying a bow tie around your wrist.
Mhm.
Suddenly has a little bow tie.
Eyeliner on one of them.
No.
Big. It's too big. Okay.
Oh, okay.
You're all fine students, and it would be a shame if something were to happen to any of you.
At that point,
Professor
Theo's got a
Estrade
number.
is clearly delusional, and you all should step away for your own safety. Delusional? You're the one who's delusional. I can't believe you've been an educator for all these years. And it seems like he's trying to like find a way to like skirt away from like the barrier that you're forming, Gwen.
I will say, out of character moment, the fact that he very clearly doesn't want to hurt me makes me trust him a little bit more. I'm just gonna say that, out of character moment.
That's valid.
I think I'm gonna I'm gonna be like, okay, if he's delusional. Here's my question to Professor Estrade. What makes you think that something bad is going to happen? I would like to ask this man why he thinks that something really bad is going to happen, because he probably has a good reason to think that.
He's clearly unhinged. The madman waving his wand around in front of students.
I was not asking you. Was I asking you? No, I was asking him. Thank you. Let him speak.
I thought you were asking her. Sorry, that's my fault.
What is going bold?
I'm so done. I just want to know what's happening.
Well, and he takes his notebook back out and starts rifling through it. And he's kind of muttering to himself, like, oh, this is going to be a scandal for the agents. School is never going to recover. I'm going to have to get a new job. And he's like looking for the right thing. And he pulls out one of, like, I mentioned how there's a lot of pages stuffed into the journal. Last time, things that are like stapled in or paper clipped in. And he pulls out a page that is paper clipped in, and I guess he'll kind of like slide it across the floor to you guys to look at it.
Yes, they will pick it up and look at it, whatever it is.
So you pick it up, and it is an incident report for the death of a student who died during his term 26 years ago from like the current moment, not to the exact day, but roundabouts. And he explains, if you look at that, the autopsy details that it doesn't match. There was no body. The funeral was closed. We never saw her. And I know that they fed her to that thing.
How do you know?
I mean, it makes sense. There are legends like this all around the globe. Why would it be any different here?
I thought you were a person of science, not legends. So where's the data? Like what? And this is from 26 years ago. Isn't it supposed to be every 13 years? So where are the other people who went missing? I'm just very confused.
Well, now, 13 years ago, we have a similar incident with Mundies from the surface, 2 going missing 13 years ago. Also around the same date, and he's like looking, because I have the report somewhere. And head teacher Kraft like waves her wand, and the book flies out of his hand. It skitters.
Excuse me?
She's gonna turn her wand on you. You can make a
That
You
I
can
saw.
make
I
a-
should have seen that coming. I've
can-
been very loud.
Yeah, you can make another grit roll difficulty 10.
Okay.
Can
Let
I?
me check what my grid is again.
I've had my wand ready. I guess this time. Can I? Is there a way of blocking a kind of charming effect to make someone run away or fear them?
Counterspell is a thing. You're not sure what she's casting because it's non-verbal.
Sure.
But you can do like an opposed I guess you could do a how do you want to stop it? Do you want to try to disarm her, or do you want to try to actually figure out what she's casting and use a sort of protection?
What I guess I can try to do, because what I'm good at is like illusory magic more than anything else. I guess I will try to, rather enchantments, but I guess I will try to make it so that light refracts, so it looks like Gwen is maybe a little bit off to the side of where she actually is. So then in Craft's brain at the moment of casting the spell gets confused and actually misses the target. I think that's
okay.
How I phrase it.
So illusory is usually charm, right? So we can we'll do that charm roll first.
Cool. Okay. All right. Okay, that's a 14. I'm willing to spend adversity tokens if I need to.
No, that's more than enough to
cool.
To kind of move Gwen off to the other side of you with this illusory effect, and so she'll hit that one with the spell, but it kind of disperses because it doesn't do anything, and she huffs. And
yeah, so once that's over, like after someone tries to unalive me,
she wasn't trying to unalive you. She was just trying to get you to be quiet.
I know, but do I know that? Can I tell the difference? I don't know.
Spells meant for death are usually, it's pretty clear when it's
okay, good.
Shot. So
okay, well, I'm gonna say excuse me again because that was rude. Anyways, Professor Estrade, you may continue if you would like, or if you don't want to.
In the commotion, his brother has used a spell to bring to float the book back from where it's been cast off. And he says, and now she's acting up again. If you notice, if you count the weeks between all the dates, they're 2 weeks past due to give her something, and that's why she's upset. I offered 4 years ago now to take her out, but they told me no.
There's obviously some type of correlation between Millie acting up and these students going missing, or at least it seems like it to me. So I turned to the headmaster and I'm like, what do you have to say about all this? Anything other than he's delusional? Like, do you have anything helpful to offer?
There's no connection. There's no real connection between these events. I can't believe I'm sitting here explaining myself to a 19-year-old.
Well, I'm pretty smart, so...
I don't like that. Theo's going to speak up and turn to Professor Harker and be like, Harker, what do you think about all this? Is Harker still there?
Yeah, she's here. Oh, now you want my opinion. I thought that you guys were looking out for me. Isn't that what you told your friend to do?
Well, yeah, just to see what was happening. Huh? Bet. Can't be too careful.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty shady.
I'm just here to make sure that nobody gets hurt.
Like who's gonna get hurt though?
With two of my colleagues waving their wands at each other, who knows?
Yeah, that's true. I feel like I'm gonna be honest. I feel like I'm also doing a pretty good job at that, standing in between them. We're on the same team here, you and I.
She thinks for a second and she says, "You should go back. I'll switch places with you."
You see, I don't like the way you said that though. I don't know if I like the way you said that though. What do you mean I should go back? I'm sorry, but me and my friends showing up have gotten more information, and I feel like have gotten more progress done than just a bunch of professors screaming at each other. So, like, I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't.
I think that you should. She takes her wand out. She puts it like on the ground, like in the same fashion, like if you were like asked to like put your hands in the air. She puts it down. She puts her hands up. She says, "It just would be best if you left. So I'll switch with you, okay?"
What do you guys think about this? Because if there's signals, I'm not getting them. Right over my head.
This entire time, Quinn has kind of just been like eyeing like the food table, which like since the dance was like interrupted so early, is still like fully set.
So many wasted shrimp, though.
Love my favorite combo.
So many wasted shrimp.
There's so much food.
And you notice in doing this now, your sight is kind of off the scene, Quinn. And this stream that you've been putting out actually seems to have attracted a few people. You notice peering into the, like through the kind of like entrance, there are a few heads barely peeking out and watching. And it doesn't seem that anyone has noticed because everyone's been so focused on the scene here at hand.
Quinn waves to them. Just like the people like looking, just like give them a friendly wave. And then
someone
starts wandering over to the food table.
As you get closer to the entrance, you as you approach the food table, you kind of like you hear a voice in your head corresponding with one of their classmates. They have their wands tapped to their temple, and it says, "Do you guys want help?"
Quinn is really not sure how to respond to this and kind of like looks back at the situation behind them and like thinks for a moment before doing the same thing, which I assume is like a pretty basic magical technique that they're taught. And says, the more the merrier.
Incredible.
So, this other grouping of about 6 students from
NPCs. More NPCs.
Yeah, from
but be careful, Max only has 2 hands.
Yeah. But 10
I'll drive over and give you more hands.
Yeah, from Theo and January's house begin to walk into the room, also kind of, on edge. And
seeing this, Theo will look at the new students that are approaching the classroom and turn to Kraft and say, well, it seems as though the student body of Alabaster would like an inquiry, perhaps, into the disappearances of these children and perhaps an investigation into these allegations brought up by Professor Estrade.
Yeah, I think that should happen. I agree. But before that, we should probably try to figure out what's going on with Millie.
Yes.
Like what's actually going on.
Just as you say this, and as more students have populated the ballroom again, her tail slams once, twice, as she's kind of become like frantic, like over the dome that you're in. And Benedict says, it's gonna break. It's gonna break. If she hits it again, it's gonna break.
Yeah, so we should probably actually figure this out rather than screaming at each other, right? Surely all the adults in the room can agree with that.
Real quick, just because like the thought of student death and all of that is very disturbing to January, and she's becoming increasingly uncomfortable with the situation. What is like the general rule and I guess even law on like using very serious charm magic against a teacher or another person? Because what she would like to do is try to cast some kind of like truth serum spell on the head teacher to see if anything can be brought to light.
I mean, like it would be circumstantial. I guess in general, doing that to a teacher would land you like a very serious suspension at the very least, especially if you were using it to like alter grades or whatever, someone would be compelled to use charm for. In this particular situation, it might be a little bit different.
Okay. So she will seriously consider that, especially knowing that there are other people around who might back her up, and give some kind of character reference if there's anything like that needed in the future. But she'll wait a little bit before doing that to see if something happens. But January does pull out her wand to ready something like that.
Okay. All right, where were we in that case? Who was the last person to say something? I know it
Benedict
was
saying it's going to break.
Oh, then no, it was me. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, and then Gwen said, so like why don't we come to a conclusion and all right, so then Benedict will say there has to be some other civil way to put an end to this. If it's a life that she really needs, then take mine. And his brother is like, whoa, 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 absolutely not. No, we're not giving anyone to Emily. That's not how this works anymore. You got away with it once, and it's not happening again. And got away with it. It never happened to begin with. It's a continued denial of the assertion that the events that he's trying to bring together are separate, and that this, like whatever's happening now, is like an independent incident. She says, if you want it to be that way, myself and Professor Harker will go take care of her. I'm sure the two of us can handle it. Isn't that right? And Professor Harker says, I suppose. One of the other students says, wait, was she on the stream? I don't know. And
the biggest reveal of the episode.
She's going to grab Professor Harker by the arm, and they disappear.
They just like woof.
Conveyance is a skill taught at this school.
Yeah, I figured, but I'm just making sure that they actually use conveyance at that point.
Yeah, yeah. And then very loudly, fuck!
We need to get out of here.
Who says fuck?
And Basil, and he turns to address all the students, and he says, "You're all adults. These are all upper class students." He goes, "Would you like to save the school today?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Quinn
Absolutely.
with a full mouth is like, yeah, that sounds like fun.
All right.
When chew. You gotta chew first.
Working on.
Okay.
Everybody have their wand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have my wand.
You all need to get out of here before she bangs this again. Follow me. We're gonna go to the aquatics lab. Let's go. And the Professors Estrade, as I enjoyed calling them, kind of head and the line of students who have come here to usher you all into the astrology lab. You hear that last bang as the magic does begin to give out and water begins to pour kind of from the top of that dome into the room. And as you're heading out, one of the professors shoots a spell at it and then slams the door shut and locks it to that ballroom. And you all head to the magizoology sector of the school. There's no sight of Professor Harker or of head teacher Kraft anywhere out. You can see in the water. There's also a big bubble here because it's an aquatic, study area. Yeah. And so he urges you all to kind of like pull your hoods up or, what have you. And lets you all sit, and he locks the door to his office too. So the four of you have read my notes.
Well, no. I couldn't read the handwriting.
It was skimmed.
Right, to some extent.
Those were your notes?
And you believe it.
Listen, I don't know if, I think there's something going on with Millie, and I think there probably have been disappearances. I don't know if I believe exactly what you think is going on, but I do think that something is. I don't think you're completely insane. I mean, after what we just saw there's no way.
We have two options here, and we need to decide very quickly. And because I respect and care about you, all of you, as my students, I will respect whatever vote you make on this, okay? So we can evacuate the school. Melly can't get on land. If we all surface, who knows what will happen to the building in the process, but she can't follow. Or we can try to take out Melly. It'd be a little bit more complicated and a lot more dangerous, but a permanent solve to this problem. And I fear that if we go for the first option, wherever Kraft and Veronica went is just going to be another Mundy sacrifice that will have to be repeated in another 13 years. What do you all want to do?
I think attempting evacuation regardless is probably a wise option. Even if we choose to fight Melly, should we fail, I would rather know that some of the students were at least able to get away and out of harm's way.
Okay.
And also, like, I don't know if Millie is the villain here. Millie is just a creature. Like, if they are sacrificing people to appease her, why didn't we just build this school somewhere else? Like,
I wasn't alive when we
I
built
know that
this
you
school.
weren't. I'm not blaming you. I promise I'm not. I just once again, I just don't know if Millie is the villain. Like, I think evacuating is a good plan because I don't think that we should be here if she doesn't want us here. Isn't this her home?
What I believe this is, at essence, is an agreement with the founder and Millie. You protect the school in exchange for a soul every once in a while.
That's awful.
I hate to think of it that way, but that's how it seems to me.
I don't know if that means that she needs to die, though. That was an agreement made long before we were born, and we didn't even know it was happening. I don't know if she's at fault for that, but I do think that if the head teacher knows and she's keeping it a secret, something needs to happen there. There needs to be justice wrought there.
When I get in touch with my mother, believe
So
me.
you all want to evacuate? That's what
Yeah.
we want to do right now.
Yes.
Okay. And the other students in the room agree. He is going to write on like the board in his room. This one gets a little bit more special clearance because it's in a teacher's room and not in like a random common room.
There's emojis and everything you could put on. It's great.
Oh, not that. I just mean that it
More
like it doesn't need
colors.
to be cleared by the main office because it's meant to be used by a teacher only. And he basically writes like all students gather in the main hall for evacuation immediately. And he marks it as urgent. It goes out, and hopefully people will start gathering. And he is going to utilize these other students who have come, basically say, you check this common room, check this common room, check this common room, make sure everybody gets out, and start sending them up to the surface, but only use conveyance. Don't
Check the bathrooms. There might be one student somewhere in a bathroom asleep. Check the bathrooms.
and check the bathrooms, he adds.
Sorry, just remember that. Very important.
Yeah. Benedict will go with those students to do the evacuations, leaving the four of you with Basil.
Basil, yeah.
Yeah.
If
Freeze. Okay. I am going to try to locate the headmaster. And if I can find her, we will deal with that afterwards. Ooh, not 18. Going wild on the brain roll. Yeah, so in the use of a sort of find person thing, his eyes are closed and his like knuckles are like white, his fist is clenched, and he goes, she's with Harker and they're carrying a kid. Oh fuck, everybody grab onto me. And he puts his arm out.
Mm-hmm. Do so. Power Ranger style.
perfect.
You'll all pop you are across the school, behind Professor Harker and head teacher Kraft, who are carrying the still asleep Mars Rutherford. Yeah, y'all all carry phones. The most vital cause of this, who are
We're still recording this, right? Like we're still streaming this?
Are you? I don't know if anyone's watching at this point because everyone is kind of in a panic, but the video, I guess, would be saved afterwards.
Theo goes, clip it, clip it.
Where are you taking him? What are you doing?
So you could have been stealth, but instead Gwen has spoken.
I'm sorry. It's just I'm done with what's going on.
Theo's gonna, in that moment, try to make himself invisible if he can.
Okay. Let's do the brains roll for that.
Brains?
What was it last time that I just did it early in the episode? I forgot.
Charm?
I don't think it was, but I'll let you have it because it's the last episode. Go ahead.
It was illusion. It was illusory. Was it flight?
Oh, it was flight. Thank you,
Nick.
It was flight because you're avoiding.
Okay. I can try that.
That's you just did it earlier today, so difficulty 7 lowered for
repeated
action.
I rolled a 3, but I will use all 4 of my adversity tokens to turn invisible.
All right.
And then
so
I'm gonna leave the group, just like skirting around to the side.
Right. So where are you going?
I'm just because right now we're all bunched up, right? We're all
yeah.
As of right now, I'm just kind of disappearing, and I want to stray off from the group just so to kind of flank the Harker and Kraft.
So you've entered another standoff, sort of, with the group of you behind Basil and Professor Harker and Kraft holding the soundly sleeping Mars Rutherford. The first thing that Kraft does is kind of pass her half of the weight of Mars to Professor Harker. And Professor Harker puts them like fireman style over her shoulder.
Does it seem hard for Harker?
No.
When the head teacher looks kind of distracted, I would like to attempt to cast sort of like a zone of truth type thing on her.
Okay, so that's gonna be a charm roll. Who are you casting it on? Kraft or
Kraft.
Kraft. So let's do a difficulty of 12.
Okay. This is a D12, so let's see.
Oh gosh.
But I have
You have adversity tokens?
Yes.
Okay.
I rolled a 10 and I have 2 adversity tokens left. So it's exactly a 12.
You don't think that it's going to work. This is something probably far beyond your understanding of charm magic. But when you cast it, you feel like it has. You haven't asked her anything yet, so that hasn't come to public knowledge, but know that it has worked for now.
Okay. Wow. Okay. That's all my adversity tokens.
We're just using those adversity tokens up.
Hey, might as well. It's the finale.
That's what they're for. Yeah. She goes, take the kids and leave, Basil. And he shakes his head. His wand is drawn like low, casually. It's not like pointing at her dramatically, but it's in his hand. And he goes, I don't want to hurt you in front of them, but I will.
What are you doing?
Are you asking?
I'm going to ask the professor. I'm going to ask the headmaster. What are you doing?
They're back. Well, I'm sacrificing Mix Rutherford to Melly. Why did I just say that? And
Because you're an idiot.
And
don't do that.
Professor Harker is looking like very confused for the first time. Like, don't talk anymore. Don't say anything else. And
is Harker a vampire?
Yeah, of course she is. Jesus. And
you see that?
Hey, where do you think you guys will go next if you leave?
Well, probably. And Professor Harker shoulders Rutherford and slaps her hand over Kraft's mouth.
Quinn is going to take the opportunity. Quinn is going to take the opportunity to draw their wand and sprint just like full speed at Professor Harker.
Okay, and what try do you intend to do?
Grab onto Mars and convey them to the meeting spot that Professor Estrade sent all of the other students.
Okay, I'm gonna ask for I'll let you do what you're better at. Is your brawn or your fight better?
My brawn or my fight? My fight is better.
All right, so you're gonna have to. Let's do a fight difficulty of. It's one person carrying a body over the shoulder. That's not too tight of a grip, so we'll do a difficulty 7. Difficulty 7 fight to get Mars, but not Professor Harker.
Can Theo attempt to help with this?
Are you gonna try to yank Professor Harker back?
No, I would like to attempt to cast a spell that just basically looks like daylight right at Professor Harker.
Ooh,
just like a blast of daylight.
That's a pretty simple one compared to what you did before. So let's do Charm difficulty 5 for the light in the eyes.
Okay. That's a 12.
Yeah, so it's so concentrated, as if there's a gap in the brick and sunlight, even though it's pretty late at night, is beaming down directly into her eyes. That difficulty will be lowered to 5 on that fight roll for you.
Thanks. I rolled a 7.
Okay. Yeah. So
I appreciate it though.
Yeah, no. Hey, it just works better.
It was a great plan.
So you grab Mars, and I won't make you roll for conveyance because you've done it a bunch of times this series already, and it's only one other person. So where are you taking them?
There was a meeting room that all of the students were supposed to go to, right?
I think it's the main hall.
To the main hall where they're getting people out. Okay, yeah. So you bring them to the main hall. The process of this wakes them up, it seems. And so they're a little groggy. They're bleeding a little bit on the oh no, actually you caught them when they originally passed out, so no, there's no blood. They're just a little groggy.
All I do is catch people and teleport.
Yeah. But you bring them to the main hall where they're taken in by their housemates. It looks like evacuation is going pretty well. They can't take giant groups, but they're going with students that you recognize from your more advanced conveyance classes, and Professor Estrade and one other professor are taking groups of 5 at a time, up and out, back down, up and out.
I think Quinn thinks for a moment about should I help here? Should I go back? Should I help here? Should I go back? And it's kind of they probably have this mostly handled here, and then just conveys back to the standoff.
Okay. And would you like to be with the professor and Gwen in January, or would you like to be on Theo's side?
I would like to be with the professor and Gwen in January.
Okay. So you're back, and things are even more heated now. Oh, I didn't think of y'all doing that. Kraft is still quiet. And having recovered from the light eventually, Professor Harker takes her under an arm and puts a hand back over her mouth. You're muted.
Yeah, Layla, you're muted right now.
I just want to say to the headmaster, why didn't you just go somewhere else? Like, why did we have to sacrifice students? Why couldn't we have just gone somewhere else? I'm so confused. Listen, when my mom hears about this, nah. You're in a lot of trouble. You're in so much trouble. My mom is
Professor
an ambassador.
Harker,
what do you think you're doing?
Your mom isn't going to hear about this, and snaps Headmaster Kraft's neck.
You understand that? Oh, you don't know this is on video? Is that what you don't know?
Almost every student is going to see this, and it's also being recorded and uploaded to the cloud as we speak.
Actually,
like, why are you an idiot?
They're going to see Professor Kraft dropping to the ground on her own accord.
Yeah, right, and your voice.
Right after she admitted that you were a vampire.
Wait, she's a vampire?
Y'all are putting me, Max, in such a position.
Checkmate.
I would like to make a cage of garlic.
Summoning a circle of garlic.
Yeah.
Why did you have to feed into vampire stereotypes? Like, why couldn't you have been a good vampire?
Do you ever shut up?
I'm so confused.
Do you ever shut up?
No. I don't have to, because you lose.
I would.
I mean, there's no reason for me not to. And she's gonna lunge at you. Can I have a brawl roll? Difficulty 10.
Okay, let's fucking go.
And Max,
let's go. Okay, let me check. It's a brawn roll, you said?
Yeah, what is it, Josh?
Since I cast the light thing, am I not invisible anymore? I'm assuming.
No, I think that was discreet enough that you could still be.
Cool. All right.
Okay, wait 1 second. I've got to make my brawn roll. I want everyone to know that I am gonna fail this roll. There's literally no way for me to pass, but we'll see what I get. I did get the highest I could get. I did roll a 4, and
I rolled
then
the lowest I could possibly get on the contest just now. So
do I get to roll it again if I got a 4?
The lucky break
on a D4?
Oh yeah, you do because it's lucky break. Yeah.
Oh,
okay. Okay. Let's see if I can get another lucky break this time. Okay, another 4. Wait.
It doesn't stack. You can only do it once. But I rolled.
Okay. Well, the highest I could get I've got 2 4s, so I've got 8. And then I add 1 to it. And so
come on, Gwen.
That's a 9.
Yeah, given what I rolled, what I think happens is that she lunges at you and the ever clever Professor Estrade sticks his foot out and she falls right over it. Literally the oldest trick in the book. And he puts his knee on her back and presses his wand to the back of her head and mutters a casting, which I am going to roll for now, which that is sufficient enough to put her kind of unconscious. And then he's just like kind of panting over her body like you've never seen someone so stressed before in his life. Okay. Who's recording? You got all that?
Yeah, I think we all are, Professor.
Feel your tie. Can I have your tie?
Yeah, of course. Just takes off my damask tie.
And he's going to make try to cuff her hands behind her back, ties it real tight. He says it's going to be absolutely no good when she wakes up, so we don't have a ton of time.
Do we have iron or something? Does iron work with vampires? Pure iron?
I don't know how did I never figure it out? That's a failure.
I mean, you kind of did figure a lot out.
Yeah, you were focused.
To be fair. I didn't even believe you until she admitted it. So, you should feel really good about yourself.
Okay. I am going to do something that might help. If they really are feeding Melly a soul, what does an immortal soul do?
I'm down for that. Usually I wouldn't be down for that, but she's pretty rude and she just murdered someone in front of us. So.
Yeah, another question is, has she been feeding on students? How does she feed?
I don't know.
Does she feed on Mondays?
I feel that that's most likely. But I suppose we can get to that at a later date. Somebody help me lift her up.
Theo will help, I guess.
Yep.
Not gonna be me.
And you're gonna haul her up, and he's gonna start walking in the direction that they were walking, kind of towards the head teacher office. You go in there.
Sure. On the way out, though, Theo's gonna be like, "Can someone see if they can help Craft?" She's
dead.
Okay. There's no reverse.
Snap at a neck will kill you.
Okay.
There's no revivify. It's been 1 minute.
Not from any of you at the very least.
That's fair.
But I mean, pretty much in all non-D&D magical settings, the return of life is very difficult. I mean, it didn't go well in Full Metal Alchemist, did it?
No.
Yeah, so that's definitely, if it can be done, it's not something that any of you can do as relatively young wizards. You can take the body or keep an eye on it, but you open the door to the office, and people don't really go in here. They don't broadcast what it looks like, but the kind of porthole window does have a hatch, it will open out to the water, and it kind of orbs out in a magically protected way, kind of like those things they have at the aquarium, but instead of glass is magic.
Mm-hmm.
And with his spare hand, Professor Estrade kind of gives it a real simple spell to unlock, and he goes, heave on 3. 1, 2, 3, and you cast her out. She passes kind of through the magical field into the water, and then he slams the hatch shut really hastily and locks it. And Melly, who has been kind of wailing, but not doing anything in particularly, quiets and comes down and snatches up the body of Professor Harker and 180s and hightails it into the depths of the lake.
Good for her.
Quinn turns to January and says, I don't know which one of us had a worse homecoming date. I mean, I guess mine is eating yours now, so I guess that counts for something.
Yeah. I don't know how old Melly is, but mine was also eating people for probably a long, long time. And then worked with children I don't know, they both really suck. How about the next dance we just go together?
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Over the course of the next few months, students' things are sent back to their muddy homes as the school is closed for the semester, and news reports come out about everything that's happened. The four of you are kind of hounded for appearance, interview. Your video is used everywhere. The headlines, Legacy Headmaster Lacecraft dead after conspiracy incident at Alabaster Academy. Alabaster Academy's Veronica Harker outed to be vampire. That one always comes with a question mark. And more and more comes out to your testimony, accolades to Professor Estrade's research for figuring this all out, for stopping the cycle. Money is paid to some of the alleged former victims that they've tracked back through the 13-year cycle. And school is closed all the way through the new year. And that January, towards the end of what would have been your winter break had it not been a lot longer, it's announced through kind of the cute little official emails that schools send you that Alabaster Academy is undergoing both a change in management and a change in location.
I asked my mom, I'm like, Mom, can you help find the school like someplace else to be? Because this just isn't working out.
Your mother would definitely be on the board, and they've scouted a number of locations, saltwater this time, to make sure the students will be safe. And under the new headmaster, Basil Estrade, Alabaster Academy will be reopening in the Pacific, just outside of San Diego. And so before we close, what do you think your characters accomplish in their last few years in the new and improved Alabaster before graduation?
I think after that, and seeing kind of the impact that, a lowly Basil Estrade was able to do, just from understanding and knowing the natural world, kind of also making a bigger, boom, a bigger exit at his time at Alabaster. I think Theo is going to move out of his home and give up whatever kind of legacy he had with his family and that business, and all the money that he had from his family. And instead he's going to, I think, just live and work on the new campus of Alabaster, kind of as the animal handler and the keeper. And he's just gonna kind of live a life that's quiet and subdued, and where he can just talk to animals all day and not have to do with managing people anymore. And that's kind of I think that's what he'll live out the rest of his at least few years doing.
Gwen, what do you get up to in your final years at the academy?
Well, very soon after the events, I think the first thing that she does is go, "Hey, Professor Estrade, no hard feelings about me breaking into your office and taking your notebook, right? That's in the past. You were hiding something. I just wanted to solve the mystery. I could tell something was going on, and I helped you save the day. So maybe it evens out."
is this like directly after like the events, like same day, or are you talking to him like
I would say like I give it a little bit of time to settle down, like maybe
Yeah.
a month.
Yeah, so like a week or so after you've been home, your journal unspelled arrives in the mail with or not in the mail, but like with your things that have been sent home for you. It's in like a nice gift wrapped blue box with a post-it note that says this one does belong to you.
Amazing, incredible. No shit. No. I think that in the longer term, I stopped doing divination magic because I'm not good at it. Like I'm just not. It's not really my thing. I can get breakthroughs sometimes, but most of the time it fizzles out on me. So I have to try to find a different magic. And I think I actually just go to aquatic magizoology. I think everything with Millie got me very, very curious about it. And I think that I like start spending time actually, like once I graduate, I think I go back and like I try to study Millie's behavior more and like try to understand more about her.
Okay. And Quinn, what do you do?
So first of all, I think like the idea of like Quinn getting like interviewed after the event is hilarious. I I'm sure that those were incredibly uninformative, but also very entertaining. Um, but I think that they go back, like when they go back to school, they kind of finish out uh their time like keeping their like extreme focus on conveyance because it's just like it's their favorite. They think it's so much fun. And you know, their grades in all the other classes are not great, but that's fine. Um, and I think that they like right out of school they join like a magical postal service as like an intern, just like conveying like sort of around the world and delivering packages and ingredients and stuff, but they're really not good at it because they get distracted by like all of the weird crazy things they see in their travels. And so after like a few months, they don't get fired, but like they're kind of told like, yeah, maybe you'd be better like focusing in like some other like department that we have because you know you have like a 2-day delivery that takes you 3 weeks. um and they kind of say like no thanks and sort of just return to their Mundy family in Ohio and just kind of start living a pretty normal like mundane life.
All right. And January.
January will actually not return to Alabaster. She will enroll at the sister school in Scotland.
I was hoping someone would enroll at Jasper.
The Jasper School for Young Arcanists.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she'll do what she can to graduate early and then move back to Chicago, but live a mostly mundane life using the money left behind from her family to open an orphanage and set up a scholarship in her brother Jonah's name to send more magically inclined children from the orphanage to go to either Jasper or Alabaster. She does not use magic at all, really, except occasionally if she sees like a weird bug or something in her garden, she will send Theo a magical message asking him about it.
Okay. Well, thank you all for playing my silly little school drama, and thank you to everyone who has watched along the way. I certainly never planned for Melly to consume Professor Harker. In fact, to tell you the truth, I didn't decide if Professor Harker was actually a vampire until episode 2. So before we go, I will victimize Chris to start the outgoing popcorn.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us these past 4 weeks, or in total. Had a lot of fun playing with everyone here. I was meeting everyone for the first time, except for Josh, who plays Theo, and you all are lovely, wonderful people. And I hope we get to work together again in the future. You can find me on all the socials at Carpe Christie. I use she, her pronouns. I am very fun or easy to talk to. If you ever see me in Twitter or anywhere, please respond to my stuff or send me a DM. I love making new friends. And sometimes, occasionally, every other Thursday, I stream also on Twitch in a horror 5e campaign. We've been on pause for a little bit as our GM was becoming a middle school principal, but things are slowing down for him and becoming more stable now. So we're going to start up again soon. I will drop the link in chat. But again, love playing with you guys. Thank you, Max, so much. You are awesome. Let's go to Phil.
Okay. I'm Phil. Any pronouns. I have been Quinn, who has been just a joy to play. I hope you all enjoyed them as much as I do. You can follow me on Twitter at Phil_Kutch and on Twitch at twitch.tv/Phil_Kutch. And you can see me now Wednesdays on the Fey Realm Twitch channel on Neon and Chrome, another show that Max runs. I play Dave. He's some guy.
He's literally just a guy.
Literally just some guy from New Jersey. That's his entire character. I'm figuring it out on the way. It's great. But yeah, this was a joy to play in, and I'm glad that Max dragged me along. But yeah, follow the rest of them as well. They are wonderful. Layla.
Hi, I'm Layla. Layla Bamonziara. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Layla Ziari. I have had such a wonderful time. I've been wanting to play Kids on Brooms. Max did such a wonderful job. So a round of applause. Incredible. And also, yeah, everyone here has been so welcoming and inviting and kind. As a amateur TTRPG live streamer, it's been so great. And you should follow them too. Follow them before me. I post such random stuff, but yeah. I will send it to, I always forget to do that every single time. I'll send it to Josh.
Oh, thank you. My name is Josh Zambrano. You can follow me on all the socials at Josh Zombie or some variation of that. Let's see. This was my first streamed TTRPG, and so I'm just so grateful that I got to spend it with you guys and Max for your storytelling. And it was just a fun time, lots of chaos, and I loved it. Max, you've been such a great sport coming along with all of it. So just thank you for that. And Phil and Layla and also Miriam, they have been just, you all have been just such a joy to meet and to grow with. And so this was a fun time. And of course, playing with Chris is a lovely time as well. So yeah, I'm just very grateful for having the opportunity to be on here. Yeah, be safe, get vaccinated. Hey.
I'm adding that to mine. Get vaccinated, please.
That's what I'll plug.
I want to thank Nikki for not only running tech on all these episodes, but for tolerating me when I said, hey, Nikki, is there any way I can run Kids on Brooms? Any way at all? And she, like my good tabletop mother, said, okay, fine. So thank you for letting me run all of this, and thank you to all of you and to Miriam as well, who couldn't make it for the last session, for sitting through my haphazard school drama. If you want to see more of me, I'll be finishing up Neon and Chrome on the Fey Realm with Phil on Wednesdays, and finishing up The Growing of the Dim on the 15th, I believe, on Critical Misses. And then I'm actually not cast in anything else, which is, it's been a few months for me. So Arcane Goth on social media, hit me up, and I would love to do more stuff. And with that being said, you can ask me any questions you'd like about the aftermath of the Chronicle. And until then, everyone be careful. Don't get human sacrificed. Don't get killed by a vampire. And have a lovely night.